There are almost 850 legendary creatures in Magic the Gathering. We've covered dozens of them in our Commander Spotlight series, and today we're adding 8 more. Coldsnap is one of the most interesting and unique sets Magic has ever had. Let's dive right into some of the most bizarre and awesome commanders in the entire game. I do hope you enjoyed this series coming back, and if you do, be sure to hit the like button down below, helps out a lot. Darien, King of Kjeldor, is 4 of anything and 2 white for a 3/3 legendary creature human soldier. Whenever you're dealt damage, you may create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Soldiers have been a long underrepresented tribe, but for those who love soldiers enough, Darien is their chosen one, and it isn't like there's no support for soldiers. Tons of cards exist that create soldiers. Captain of the Watch, Knight Captain of Eos, then huge soldier producers, and the newly printed Finale of Glory, and then there's Martial Coup, Nomad's Assembly, Conqueror's Pledge, and Launch the Fleet. Here's the thing. Soldier tokens end up being used for token decks or human decks, but never really soldier decks. The focus hasn't been on soldiers in a long time. But in a deck like Darien, where you can just let damage through right to you, soldiers become the focus. You actually get to run Catapult Master to exile creatures. You get to run Daru Warchief to buff your soldiers, Field Marshal to do the same, and even a card like Mobilization, which has been printed relatively recently. If you're interested in running a soldier tribal deck, there's a ton of support in white. There are more 1/1 soldier token producers than almost any other tribe in Magic. With that in mind, a deck like this takes advantage of Skull Clamp in a broken fashion for some serious card advantage. Same with Mentor of the Meek, ton of card draw there. And then you have the opportunity of including on-theme planeswalkers, which I know players love to do. Elspeth Knight Errant, Elspeth Sun's Champion, and Elspeth Tyrell all create soldier tokens specifically. Combining all of this with standard white tribal support cards, and you have a white tribal deck that uses a creature type most tribal players completely forget about. So if you want to try a deck that wants you to run Intrepid Hero, Banalish Commander, and Hero of Bladehold, you've come to the right guy. Darien is cool beans. Arcum Dagsson is 3 of anything and 1 blue for a 2/2 legendary creature human artificer. You can tap it and target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it. That player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle their library. Arcum Dagsson is a long-time favorite in the mono-blue artifact commander world, mainly because his tap ability is so interesting and broken, allowing you to sacrifice any artifact creature to get any non-creature artifact. Talk about a tutor. Now this tutor doesn't take any mana, and that's its biggest mistake. One of the main reasons why Arcum makes for such a competitive commander. For instance, a deck with Arcum will play any artifact creature, sacrifice it to Arcum's ability to grab Paradox Engine. Cast another artifact creature spell, untap everything, sacrifice it to get Sentinel Flute, use that to grab a 0 mana artifact creature, cast it, untap everything with Paradox Engine, sacrifice that, get a powerful mana rock like Mana Vault or Basalt Monolith, use Sentinel Flute, get the Mirror Retriever and Scrap Trawler combo, which gives you infinite untaps and mana, then play Walking Ballista and game. That's the most popular example, but Arcum comes with a variety of combo kills just like that one thanks to his ability, Paradox Engine, and Sentinel Flute. A truly gross combination of powerful cards. If this deck is something you might want to build for a more competitive edge to the format, you'll be running powerful artifact spells like Darksteel Forge, Mycosynth Lattice, Spine of Ishsa, and Mindslaver. Then these crazy strong artifacts are joined by synergistic increased consistency spells like Reshape, Saya Master Thopterus, Whir of Invention, and Hangerback Walker. What I'm saying is that Arcum Dagsson has a strong ability that makes him the centerpiece of a powerful and fun artifact combo deck. If this is the kind of thing you're interested in, something a bit more combo-y and spiky, Arcum Dagsson is a great commander to adopt. Heidar, Rimewind Master, is 4 of anything and 1 blue for a 3/3 legendary creature human wizard. You can pay 2 mana and tap Heidar to return target permanent to its owner's hand. Play this ability only if you control 4 more snow permanents. Heidar has more relevance than ever, with Modern Horizons bringing snow permanents back into the mix. Heidar has never been super popular, but he does make for a cool mono-blue snow control commander when used optimally. If you're running Heidar, you want to be as disruptive as possible, using his ability as an anchor for your shenanigans. Modern Horizons brings with it Merit Aegis Slumber, Blizzard Strix, Winter's Rest, and Iceberg Cancrix as great new additions to the deck. Looking further back, we see Rimewind Cryomancer makes a great stifle on a stick as long as you have the right amount of snow permanents. Rimewind Task Mage, same thing. Great tap down against creatures, but an equally great untapper as well, giving more activations to the Cryomancer or Heidar himself. A snow deck can run Winter's Chill, which is a relatively unknown, sometimes board wipe, pretty dang unique. Then you can fill this deck with cards that either make Heidar stronger or help do what he does best. Illusionist Bracers, Thousand Year Elixir, Rings of Brighthearth, and Mage Right Stone all enable Heidar to pop off and unsummon a ton of stuff. You can run Cyclonic Rift, Venser Shaper Savant, Frost Titan to lock things down, Galecaster Colossus to help unsummon more, Windfall to cycle something away you don't like after you unsummon it. You can even use Winter Orban Static Orb to put the entire game on ice, unsummoning anything that hits the battlefield, then stopping everyone from doing anything. As far as snow-based commander decks go, Heidar can be both flavorful and functional. He's an interesting commander that most players would never expect. It's worth a try for sure. Haakon Stromgald Scourge is one of anything in 2 black for a 3/3 legendary creature zombie knight. You may play Haakon from your graveyard, but not from anywhere else. As long as Haakon is on the battlefield, you may play knight cards from your graveyard. When Haakon dies, you lose 2 life. I understand what you might be thinking. But Wedge, why are we even talking about this card? It says you can't play it from anywhere besides your graveyard. Well, maybe if you gave me a second, I could explain. Jeez, you're so rude. Anyways, on the surface, Haakon looks like straight trash garbage. And don't get me wrong, he isn't the belle of the ball or anything, but a deck can be made around him if you believe in yourself and in the heart of the cards, or one card named Command Beacon. You basically need Command Beacon to actually use Haakon. Considering this fact, getting Command Beacon becomes a big part of the deck. Thankfully, this is a black deck, so the normal tutors you'd use for your best card, you use for Command Beacon instead to free Haakon from the command zone. Beseech the Queen, Diabolic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, you can use Expedition Map to get it, Petrified Field to bring it back just in case, you get it, lots of tutors. Then you need to discard Haakon because you have to cast it from your graveyard, so you can play Dark Deal, Tortured Existence, Necrogen Miss, and Gaia Reach Sanitarium, just to name a few. Then once it's finally in your graveyard, you can cast it onto the battlefield and take advantage of its awesome static ability. You may play night cards from your graveyard. Mono Black Knights isn't exactly the most dominant archetype, but with Ashes of the Fallen and Conspiracy, basically your entire deck is knights, so you can keep recasting whatever you want. You have some natural knights to choose from that run the gamut of color hate. Marauding Knight, Dakmor Lancer, Western Paladin, Eastern Paladin, and Stromgald Cabal. Most of these are hysterical knights that players don't remember, so if you're in a playgroup with a diverse color identity, these knights can do some serious damage. You get to run Nameless Inversion as a repeatable kill spell because it has Changeling, so it's a knight. Then because basically everything will be a knight thanks to your tutors getting Ashes or Conspiracy, you can make Sidisi Undead Vizier a knight to get whatever you want all the time. Gaunty can be a knight, Grey Merchant can be a knight, Grave Titan can be a knight. I think you get what I'm saying here. If you go through the trouble and get Haakon onto the battlefield, you basically have a revolving door of knights as long as the game goes on. Barely anyone does this, but if you want to be truly different and fly away from the status quo, Haakon is almost as far away as you can get. Lovisa Coldeyes is 3 of anything and 2 red for a 3/3 legendary creature human. Each creature that's a barbarian, a warrior, or a berserker gets +2/+2 and has haste. If you want to talk about unique, Lovisa's it. Not only is she the only real commander that supports barbarians, she's the only one that supports berserkers as well, and the only mono red commander to support warriors. At first glance, you might think going mono red warriors with Lovisa's the right call, but here's the thing. Warriors are just better in other colors. Nagila, Zurgo, and Alicia all make better warrior commanders than Lovisa, even with their +2/+2 and haste buffs. So you look at Berserkers, a tribe that's never truly been supported, and you see that there are around 50 Berserkers in all of Magic, none of which buff the Berserker card types. Then you look at Barbarians, boom, Balthor the Stout. The only piece of Barbarian tribal support anywhere to be seen, but he's surrounded by only a couple dozen Barbarians. So what does Lovisa do? She brings the tribes together. She's the commander of a ruthless tribe of warriors, Berserkers, and Barbarians, basically a horde. Not a Mardu horde, but a focused, rage-filled mono-red horde of death and destruction. You want to play a mono-red deck that isn't about burning, but about stampeding over everyone with an anger-fueled army of warriors, berserkers, and barbarians? Lovisa is who you want. The best cards in this deck are powerhouses like Boldweir Intimidator, Paragon of Fierce Defiance, Berserker's Onslaught, and Gratuitous Violence. This honestly feels like a Viking army the more you look at it. Since the tribal support is so wide, Lovisa can command over Godo, Bandit Warlord, Kazul, Tyrant of Cliffs, and even Akun, Eye of Chaos. Because she's so brutal and Vikings are brutal as well, the deck includes Savage Beating, Relentless Assault, Insurrection, Fury of the Horde, and so much more. Lovisa is criminally underrated and makes for one of the coolest mono-red commanders out there. She gives you a reason to try something different in this color. It isn't just burn to the face. It's bringing 3 tribes together for a flavorful and exciting creature-based beatdown deck without needing that pesky green color. She is awesome. Garza's old Play Queen is 4 of anything 1 blue, 1 black, and 1 red for a 5/5 legendary creature vampire with flying and haste. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Garza's old this turn dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Garza. Whenever Garza deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Garza has a very old school feel when it comes to just how Grixis she is. In Commander, she plays an interesting role. Most Grixis commanders do one thing really well. Kess does control and combo pretty well, Inala does wizards pretty well, the Admiral does pirates well, Nekasar makes everyone hate you and your family. They all have a specific purpose, but Garza, she's pretty open-ended. So leading the pack isn't where you normally find her, but if you like Vampire Tribal and you like Control, then this is your gal. Garza Zol is the Grixis Vampire commander of choice right now. Jaleva is also a Grixis Vampire, but she has other priorities. Garza includes the usual suspects a vampire deck would include: Olivia Voldaren, Annuin the Ruined Sage, Necropolis Regent, Drana Colostria Bloodchief, the usual big bads. But then Garza gets to do something other vampire commanders don't. She gets to control the board. This vampire deck gets to run Silumgar's Command, Cruel Ultimatum, Mask of Riddles for a sweet synergy with Garza, as well as just a bunch of crazy powerful cards like Unscythe Killer of Kings, Nicol Bolas, Blood Tyrant, Cyclonic Rift, lots of good stuff. So if you're into tribal, especially black base tribal, but want more of a reactive feel to it, you can play Garza, play basically your entire vampire package, then protect it with a series of control elements that only blue can offer. Grixis Vampires, it's not common but perfect for the tribal counter player. Sek'Kuar Deathkeeper is 2 of anything 1 black, 1 red, and 1 green for a 4/3 legendary creature Orc Shaman. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, create a 3/1 black and red Graveborn creature token with haste. Sek'Kuar is another unique commander from the Coldsnap expansion set. He's one of the only commanders that actively cares about the death of non-token creatures. But more than that, the tokens that he creates in response to that death come with an absurdly high power and haste, neither of which is common for a trigger like this. With that in mind, Sek'Kuar's Jund Sacrifice deck is unlike most other strategies and even differs from decks in the same archetype. Gotta start with non-token creatures you don't mind dying. Reassembling Skeleton comes back over and over again, Bloodsow Champion, Blood Gas, Gutterbones, you can even use Undying and Persist creatures to do the job. Murderous Redcap, Woodfall Primus, and Macaeus the Unhallowed are excellent examples of Persist Undying inclusions. Now you need all these non-token creatures so you can sacrifice them to Priest of Forgotten Gods, or Whisper, or Carrion Feeder, get a bunch of Sek'Kuar triggers, create a ton of 3/1s with haste, get triggers from Grinharu specs, Judith the Scourge Diva, and Zulapur Cutthroat, use Second Harvest to mass your 3/1s with haste, and then Beastmaster Ascension to make them all 8/6s with haste. No big deal. Sek'Kuar is real bizarre. You do want your deck to be a sack deck that you normally see, but with additional pieces, you care way more about non-token death, so morph creatures and manifest creatures are both great. You need an insane amount of sacrifice effects, and you need cards like Warstorm Surge to beat enemies in the face on your 3 power token entry to the battlefield and on attack. 3 power tokens with haste, nothing to mess with. If you want to build a Jund Aristocrats deck that is also somehow an aggro deck, right here, this is what you want. Sek'Kuar is a neat commander that is underplayed right now, another solid choice for a new deck. Zur the Enchanter is 1 of anything 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 black for a 1/4 legendary creature human wizard with flying. Whenever Zur attacks, you may search your library for an enchantment card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you do, shuffle your library. I'm sure most of you know Zur, relatively speaking. He's one of the most popular commanders out there, but if you need a summary about his awesomeness, I got you back. There really is only one reason players are drawn to playing Zur, and it's his unique and broken trigger. Whenever he attacks, not only do you get to tutor your 99 card deck for any enchantment card with 3 converted mana cost or less, but you get to put it straight onto the battlefield. No casting cost, no nothing. Instant speed right away, so good. This trigger is pretty open-ended and lets the player build any kind of enchantment deck they want. Voltron is a popular commander build where you pile on auras to one creature so it's impossible to get rid of, then wreck everyone. Steel of the Godhead, Curator's Ward, Gift of Immortality, Vanishing. You can build an entire deck of awesome enchant creature auras. Or you can go another direction and tutor up oppressive enchantments, Rhystic Study, Karmic Justice, Ghostly Prison, Propaganda. Each of these is tutorable with Zur's trigger. The vast majority of the enchantments in a Zur deck will be 3 mana or less, so the ability has max efficiency. And because enchantments aren't limited to non-creatures, you can also tutor Aegis of the Gods or Thassa or any enchantment creature. And now the true reason why Zur is so popular, he includes all of these strategies in one. He builds Voltron, he builds Pillow Fort, and he builds card advantage all at the same time. Players who choose to run Zur over a non-black Voltron commander do it because they want access to Necropotence, more tutors, board wipes, and more card draw like Phyrexian Arena and Underworld Connections. Zur is the angry Voltron / Pillow Fort commander. If you want to run a deck like Estrid, but you want to embrace black mana, Zur is what you want. Coldsnap is one of the least appreciated sets in Magic's history. I love it, and I hope that this video helps you love it a bit more as well. Darien is an excellent soldier tribal commander. Arcum spikes all day with crazy artifact combos and nonsense. Heidar is a one-of-a-kind mono-blue snow control commander who loves to upheaval everything. Haakon is the Night Resurrection King that only a crazy person would play. Lovisa Coldeyes is the true Viking commander of Magic, turning primal tribes into a giant clan to destroy everyone. Garza combines vampiric bloodlust with patience and control of blue magic. Sek'Kuar is one of the strongest token producers ever made, creating 3/1s without even trying, ready to trample over your opponents with an aggressive aristocrat strategy. And finally, Zur the Voltron Pillow Fort Greed Monster Esper commander that any enchantment player would adore. If you want to see episodes covering other sets, check out the first link in the description. Hope you've enjoyed the return of this series, and if you want more, be sure to like the video and let me know in the comments. Also, this video was long, so leave a smiley face down there so I know who the cool kids are. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. We looked at a bunch of awesome commanders today, but I have a special place in my heart for Heidar, Rimewind Master. If this unsummoned deck seems cool to you, you can get a copy of him right now for 25 cents, not even joking, a quarter. Actually, you know what? Let's add a few more Heidar cards as a sort of starter pack for anyone interested in building him. For $10 total, you can get Heidar, Rimewind Master, Fate Stitcher, Rimefeather Owl, Rimefeather Cryomancer, Rimewind Task Mage, Aether Gale, Aether Rise, Engulf the Shore, Evacuation, and Mage Right Stone. Some of the best cards in the deck for $10. Click the first link in the description if you're interested. Helps the channel out. Enjoy!
Wow.